Good evening, little dreamer. Tonight's story is about a kind old tree and a lonely little bird who needed a friend. So, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let your heart wander into the forest where kindness grows quietly like leaves in the wind. Scene 1. The Lonely Bird. Once upon a time, in the heart of a wide forest lived a tiny bird named Kiko. Kiko was small, with soft blue feathers and bright, curious eyes. But Kiko had no friends. The other birds flew in groups, sang together, and built nests side by side. Kiko, however, wandered alone. Sometimes he tried to join them, but the others would fly away too quickly. Kiko's wings were not as strong, his songs not as loud, so he often sat quietly, watching, wishing for just one true friend. Scene 2. The Old Tree. Near the center of the forest stood a wise old tree named Abel. Abel had stood for hundreds of seasons. He had seen countless creatures pass by: rabbits, foxes, deer, owls, and butterflies. But he noticed something special about Kiko. Every evening, the little bird would sit on one of his branches and sigh softly. "You seem lonely, little one," Abel said one evening, his voice deep and kind. Kiko blinked in surprise. "Oh, hello, tree. Yes, I have no one to sing with, no one to share the skies." The tree's leaves rustled gently, like a warm laugh. "Well," said Abel, "you can sit with me whenever you wish. I may not fly, but I am always here." Sometimes the best friends are the ones who listen. Scene 3. A Small Act of Kindness. From that day, Kiko visited the old tree daily. On hot afternoons, Abel stretched his wide branches to give the bird shade. On rainy nights, he bent his leaves to protect Kiko's tiny feathers. One morning, when Kiko was hungry, Abel shook his branches so that berries and seeds from nearby bushes fell close to the ground. "Thank you," chirped Kiko gratefully. "You are so kind." The old tree smiled. "Kindness," he said softly, "is like sunlight. The more you give, the brighter the world becomes." Scene 4. The Storm. But one evening, the skies grew dark. A great storm rushed through the forest. Winds howled, lightning cracked, rain poured like waterfalls. Kiko clung tightly to Abel's branch, his tiny heart racing. "Hold on, little one," Abel said, spreading his branches wide. The storm raged through the night. The old tree swayed and groaned, shielding the little bird with all his strength. Though branches broke and leaves were torn away, Abel never let Kiko fall. Scene 5. The Morning After. When dawn finally came, the forest was quiet again. The storm had passed. Abel looked worn, with many leaves gone, but his spirit was strong. Kiko fluttered his wings and looked at him with tears of gratitude. "You protected me, even when it hurt you? Why?" The old tree smiled gently. Because kindness asks for nothing in return. It is given simply because it is good. At that moment, Kiko felt something warm inside him. Abel wasn't just a tree, he was his friend. Scene 6. Friendship Blossoms. From then on, Kiko was never lonely again. Every morning, he sang his sweetest songs from Abel's branches. The music was so gentle, so full of joy, that soon other birds began to listen. One by one, they perched nearby, joining his tune. Kiko finally had a flock, and it was all because one tree had shown him kindness. And so the kind tree and the lonely bird became the best of friends. Abel had given shelter, food, and love, and in return, he gained a song that filled his forest with joy. Remember, little dreamer, even the smallest act of kindness can change someone's life. When you share kindness, you will never be lonely because kindness always returns like a bird finding its way home. Now, close your eyes, feel the warmth of kindness around you, and drift gently into sweet dreams. Good night.